Before I start my speech, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Tunsavipo. I am a candidate from the Savannah branch, and my teacher is Mr. Chimponan. Now, I would like to introduce and explain some key terms about related to my speech. The key terms that I will explain and I also use in my speech are the word resident and president. The word resident, it means that the house or a living place. The word president, it means that the leader of a republic, especially in the United States of America. Now, I would like to introduce my topic to all of you. The topic of my speech is the history of the White House. Now, everyone, do you know what is the White House? The White House is the official residence and principal workplace of the President of the United States, located in the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. It has been the residence of every U.S. president since President John Adams in 1800. And the term of the White House is often used by the journalists as the mentioning of the act of the President and his supervisor. For 200 years ago, the White House has stood as a symbol of the presidency, the United States government, and the American people. Its history is the history of the nation capital. Began when President George Washington signed an act of the Congress in December 1719 and chose a sign for the new residence, which is now called 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. The construction of the White House began 2 years later after the site was chosen in October 1792 and was predicted to be finished in 1800. But it was not until 1800 when the construction of the White House was nearly completed. The first president, President John Adams, and his wife moved into the White House. So it means he is the first president who moved into the White House and worked in the new residence, which was completed in 1800. However, the White House has a unique and fascinating story. It survived on a fire headed by British in 1814 in the War of 1812 and another fire in the West Wing in 1929. But after the War of 1812, almost immediately the reconstruction of the White House started. And then, in 1817, the President James Monroe moved into the partially reconstructed executive residence immediately after the reconstruction was completed. Because of the project within the executive mansion, after 6 years, the President Theodore Roosevelt, who was the President after Mr. James Monroe, has worked all office and created the newly constructed West Wing of the White House. 6 years later, the new President William Hopwood, has expanded the West Wing and created the first Oval Office, which was eventually moved as the section was expanded, and it is the office of the President of the United States since the President William Hopwood has made this office. And until nowadays, President Barack Obama is also using this office as his own office. If we compare about the White House in the 1800 and the White House nowadays, there are many big differences. Because the White House nowadays contains with the West Wing, the East Wing, and the executive residence. But the White House in 1800 contained with only the executive residence, while the East Wing and the West Wing haven't constructed yet. However, in 1946, under the control of the President Thomas Jefferson, he created the earthquake, which was eventually, which was the reception area for the social event. The earth wing and the west wing were connected with the White House and create the nowadays White House looking. In conclusion, the White House, it is the official residence and the principal workplace of the President of the United States. And the White House has stood for 200 years ago as a symbol of the presidency, the United States government, and the American people. Although there are two times damaged by the fire, but the White House still able to keep its professional looking. And also it developed, and also the White House developed from one generation to one generation, one presidency to one presidency, because of the president after Mr. John Adams, he had to make his own change and addition on the White House after he has become the president of the United States. And also the White House, it is the only public residence of the head of the state that open in public free of charge. So, this is the end of my speech. I would like to say thank you to all of you who pay attention to listen to my speech. And I would like to say thank you to committees who give me a chance to be here and give speech. Thank you.